Very briefly, I gave you guys a look at the sandbox version of Above the Snow right before it came out, and it was a really great experience. You guys loved it. I did too, but I want to explore the story parts of this a little bit deeper. I feel like there's more to the game than just that standard loop that they've got going on for gameplay, and I want that experience. So we're going to hit new game here, and I'm going to go for the campaign. And we're going to see what it takes to become the best shelter in the Alps. That's what this is all about. If you don't know about the game, don't worry, because you're in for a treat, all right? Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight, all right? And I'm feeling like a challenge. I know it's my first time playing this game. It's almost entirely blind, but I want that challenge. I got this kick for it now, so we're going to go Seasoned Mountaineer because I think I can handle it. Based on how well I feel like I grasped the sandbox, I feel like we can do it. Let's watch the movie.
Francis, my friend, how many chances have I given you, only for you to waste them? What was so unclear in my instructions? What did you expect, walking in there alone?
I truly regret it. I want to fix it. Undo it. Is there any chance?
A chance? In my world, every favor's a tab you'll have to settle. Say, have you ever been to the Alps? In the Swiss part, there's a place, the Corrodon region. Massive ridges stretching between three valleys. Cold enough to cut through bone, but beautiful. Those places aren't for me, but maybe you'll learn to appreciate the mountains.
And what exactly would I be doing there?
Ever heard of mountain shelters, Francis?
Shelters? Like the ones for animals?
No, my friend. Out there, any spot you can call safe is worth its weight in gold. Mountain trails wind on through cold winds and blinding blizzards. Out there, even the echo seems too frightened to speak back. In the middle of all that chaos, brave alpinists built shelters. Little havens for those heading toward the summit. The only warm places in those vast, dreamy lands.
Where exactly are you going with this?
Slowly, first things first, get rid of that damn bag.
All right, so Francis is clearly in some kind of trouble. Financially, maybe. Wrong people. Legally, maybe. I don't know. We're going to the Corrodon region in 1965 to the Swiss Alps, and we need to name our shelter. So you can always randomize the name like this to kind of get a feel for it if you're not really feeling creative. I think, though, I'm going to do a little play on words here. The Swiss Alps and the areas that the most extreme of our mountaineers will be going is upwards of almost 3 miles plus high. So, I mean, our shelter is not all the way at the top, but it's on its way up. So I'm thinking we're the Mile High Lodge. Yeah, and we're going to offer a membership if you want, a club, if you will. People can join it maybe later. All right, the quest is started. Now we can see details about it, but there's going to be some cutscenes and stuff through here. And, well, let's experience the story together. I'm going to enjoy it. If you guys do too, be sure to show the video some love. Leave a like and put your comments in the comments. That's great. Francis says, cold as hell. What did you expect up in the mountains this time of year, genius? I don't know. Half the night we were talking about cozy hotels, blankets, tea with honey, and the whole month to get your... Oh, you'll have the whole month to get your blankets and tea. In a season, this shelter is supposed to be running like clockwork. Pedro wants it to be the most popular spot in the region. So the old guy he was talking to is Pedro, I'm going to assume. Well, then we got our work cut out for us. Renovate the whole place, redraw the trails, build up the reputation. Makes me wonder if it's even doable with such a small team. I have no idea, but what choice do we have? If we fail, the only warm thing you'll get is prison porridge. Okay, well, she clearly knows about what's going on with them then. Fair point. All right, let's take a look at the map. We need to figure out how to even get to this shelter. Cool. Welcome to Above the Snow. We're going to be revisiting the compendium a lot, probably, because we're going to be looking at our guest book every once in a while, and our journal is going to have all of our quests and stuff that we want to get going with through. I can't really skip the tutorials in this, but I will move the map around just a little bit because that is what the tutorial wants me to do. So real quickly, sorry about that if it's nauseating for you. I just didn't want to get through it as fast as possible. Francis says, Pedro mentioned his brother's hovel is somewhere out here. Looks like it's quite a hike. If we want to arrive with all of our fingers and toes, we need to pick the right route. Wait, with all of our fingers? What, you'd rather come back with frostbite? Preferably not. That's what the route needs. That's why the route needs planning. Let's take a look at the map. Yes. I see 2 marked national trails leading there, one from town and one from the market. Sounds like good news? Definitely. Means we won't have to cut our way through the wilderness. Less risky that way. As the saying goes, being a good climber isn't the trick. The real trick is to be an old one. All right, we have time controls and stuff too, which we will do. All right, so how does this game work, right? What's going on here? We get a little explanation while they're moving. All right, so this is them right now, the 2 in the story. And you can see people moving on the map here. We got a town, we got a market, and then we've got a couple of different trails that are relatively safe. They're green. They're marked with elevation differences and such, but they're also marked with this one here. And this kind of indicates how safe it is, all right? And this is the thing that's going to become very relevant later as we begin to play the game. Here's the Mile High Lodge, and don't worry, it's beautiful, and we're going to see it all its beautiful glory. But then we also have a lot more locations in the game, and I cannot guarantee you that we'll get to all of them, but we're going to get to a lot of them. So what's the goal? Well, the goal is to restore and manage the Mile High Lodge. At least in this game it is. We made it. Good work. You said this was going to be easy. I said we wouldn't have to cut a trail. These paths haven't been used in years. Francis, didn't you brag about being in peak condition? Peak condition. Hilarious. Really, absolutely hilarious. Let's take a look around. Allegedly, Pedro's brother is still runs the stump. Pedro's brother. I can't speak right now. I don't know why. Judging by the state of it, I'm starting to doubt anyone's running anything here. Okay, so we're going to go to the view. So this is the map view. Shelter view is the inside of the place. We're going to be looking at that quite a bit. Quite a bit. All right, so as we get inside, it says, Francis, there's no one here. This place looks like it's been abandoned for years. Well, that's not what I was expecting. You're not wrong. Who the hell are you? Here, my card. Raymond Lyon. I'm gathering material for a documentary on the region's history. The Corataner Journal? The press cares about this? I thought nobody from the city bothered coming up here. Mountaineering's only getting more popular. And these are some of the highest peaks in this part of the Alps. The Coratan valleys are overlooked. One good story could change that. And I'm guessing the city gave you a mountain of cash to fund this? Not exactly. The city's budget's a mess. I'm doing this after hours, in my own time. Admirable. Wasting your free time on this. Which is why I should be heading out. No owner around means no story to chase. If you don't want to spend the night out in the wild, I'd suggest you do the same. Take care. Strange. No message, no nothing. Pedro and Nicholas were writing letters. Sadly, people vanishing in the mountains isn't rare, especially when they head out alone. We should fix that radio tower and alert the city. All right, so now we're going to go to the yard view. I believe the most beautiful view in the whole game. I think it's pretty nice out here. Okay, so what we want to do is fix this radio tower. This is our lodge. Oh, yes, it's looking wonderful, isn't it? Now we're going to assign somebody to repair this. We're going to click this and get Francis out there to repair this. So this is our wonderful lodge out in the Swiss Alps. It looks pretty dang good out here, I think. Yeah, we're going to be doing a lot of stuff. So when I tell someone to go and do something outside, they have to physically move there. So this is Francis. He was over here in the lodge, and now he's moving himself all the way out here to fix the place. Let's go ahead and speed up time. And he goes ahead and progresses in the job until it is done. All right. Cool. So the radio tower being fixed, right? This gives us access to the tech tree. We're going to explore that in a little bit. The tower's up. We can finally call the city and... Oh. Easy, boy. It's my best dog I could do. Hey, Brutus. Who the hell are you? Speak up, quick. Brutus hasn't had dinner after his walk yet. Well, If he eats me, at least I won't have to hike back down that damn trail. Oh, we're terribly sorry, sir. The shelter looked deserted. We thought something had happened to you. I'm Eva Harland, and this is my cousin, Francis. Harland, you say? So, you did get Pedro's letter, huh? I did. And I'm not changing my mind. I don't need a bunch of amateurs around here. I can take care of myself. Yourself, sure, old man. But the hotel? Not so much. This place looks like a dustbin with windows. Francis! How dare you, brat! If you read the letter, you know what our plan is. And since you're still here, it means our deal still has a chance. Not if I sick my dog on you. The shelter's mine. Nobody tells me what's going on here, not even Pedro. I think we may have started off on the wrong foot. Mr. Nicholas, I truly apologize for barging in. We came here to offer help. I've got plenty of mountain experience, and Francis, well, he's quite strong. He can help with running errands. I don't care about... who am I kidding? I'm ashamed you kids see this place in this state. This was once such a good spot, but those times are over. We've gathered the crew to get the shelter back on its feet. Please, give us a chance. Maybe this really is a chance to bring back life to the valley. You're just trying to sweet talk me. Can't we at least try? I'll need to think this over. Well, it's getting dark, and as good a shelter owner, I can't let you get back on the trail in those conditions. So, shall we get to work? We'll need food, firewood, and heating. Nights up here can be treacherous. Let's start by clearing out the garage. We're going to need the snowcat. All right. So, first task is to repair the garage. Well, obviously, the garage is over here, in case you were curious. Here's our garage here, and we're going to go over here and tell Eva to go start repairing it. Now, Francis is way over here, and I can tell him to start doing it, too.
Consider it done.
And he'll go over here and start, and I guess that's what he sounds like. I'm trying to, like, come up with voices, but I'm going to start hearing their voices, I guess, a little bit.
Ready for any task.
Obviously can't mimic that one.
Just another day in the old freezer.
Hey, I think I'm pretty close on that one. I have to see what Nicholas sounds like. Anyway, so they're going to go and repair this, and then the progress is over right here. And of course, you know, Francis is going to be able to help, but he just hasn't arrived yet. So there we go. Now everybody's good. Garage is clear. But what is this hunk of junk? My friends, meet old Rust Bucket. Looks like the love child of a tank and a rusty bathtub. Snowcats are used for mountain work all over the world. As long as you've got visibility, they're the best way to haul supplies. Before you set off, take some of my old furniture. Selling it off could cover your starting expenses. All right, so Nicholas is here.
40 years ago, it was much easier.
Well, I'm not close to him, and I probably won't be. We're just going to come up with something. Okay, so we need 1,000 money by selling old furniture on the first floor using building mode. So at the bottom of the screen, we have 1,000 money we're going to start with. I don't know if this is different for different difficulties, but this is what I'm starting with. We have 1,000 wood, and then there's 20 food rations with no raw food at all. So inside the shelter, we go inside. We're going to begin selling things with build mode. So this is, what floor is this? This looks like the main floor that most people are going to be interacting with here. We can sell stuff by clicking on it and then holding down the button right here, or just pressing the button, I guess. It used to be hold down, now it's just a press, okay? We can also more quickly do it by just using this little hammer right here, and then you just click things and it auto sells. So we're just going to sell a bunch of this old furniture and junk that's broken. We're going to leave the stuff that's useful, like this table right here. That could be pretty useful because you do not get a full refund when you go to sell things you've already purchased. So you want to be intentional with your purchases, especially if you're, I don't know, playing at a harder difficulty. So we can go to the delivery screen, but before we do that, I want to sell everything else. I want to do it all in one big go here. So I'll just get rid of all the extra stuff we got laying around. That should be good. For money, we'll head up to the next floor up, and I don't see any additional furniture there that I can access yet anyway. And same thing with the top floor, nothing there too. So we get a lot of different floors here. There's also a staff floor as well down here. This is where the staff is. in this little area. I'm assuming as we play the game and as we grow our shelter that we'll be able to build onto this area, because this looks like it's kind of run down, and I think maybe upgrades later will turn these into rooms that we can use too. At least I'm thinking that way. I'm trying to think like a gamer in that sense, but yeah, makes sense. Okay, so now we need to send a delivery for 100 wood and 100 food using the delivery panel. So over here on this side, we're going to add the snowcat, our G2100, and then we need a worker to go and do it. I'll have Ava go ahead and do this. From town, we want to order, it says on the delivery preparations here, 100 wood and 100 food. I'm going to go 100 food, but I'd like to get a little more on the wood there. So we're going to go 250 on the wood. We can get up to 350 for the snowcat. This is its capacity until it's upgraded at least. And our most difficult segment along the route is just a level 1. So it's a very easy route. We're going to be going through a slope of about 10 degrees. We have forest, water, and open areas on our way. Okay. And then our crew has 5 traversal skill total, which is right here. It looks like you have the best traversal of whatever the best member is. So in this case, it's just the vehicle. So 5. And then we have, I think, 50%. I'm not sure exactly what that is. Maybe 50% total work speed. And then we have our movement speed here, which is 7 because we're taking the vehicle. Okay, let's go ahead and commence the task. It's going to cost us $800 to go ahead and do that. Great work. The snowcat's on its way with supplies. I don't think I can do his voice. Let's grab the radios. Communication in the mountains is essential. That way we can stay in touch, even when someone heads out on the trail. Testing, testing, do you read me? Loud and old. What did you say? Loud and old. Okay, so wait for the delivery. Tip, you can track your worker in the map trail view. Yes, so you can go back out to the trail view /map, and we can see just how they are progressing in their route to the market. So they are going to leave from the shelter. Let's see, they're going to leave from yard view. You should see them come out of the garage if they haven't left already. The snowcat's still there. There it is. Off they go. Yes, they actually have to travel the distance. So back out to the map and we'll be able to see them heading out this way. Anytime we want to see something on the map, we can see it moving. All we have to do is mouse over top of it and we can see details about what it is, what they're doing, whether they're safe, etc. All right, so all the way go down here. Now, I think this is the elevation. I want to say this is the elevation at this certain point is what that marker is. So like this is 46 feet above. I'm going to say maybe the town is the reference point. I'm not sure, but there it is. We'll find out. Maybe it's that many feet from the previous marker, maybe. So I don't think that's the case. All right, so we're going through here. Let's go back to the shelter view. There we go. And the snowcat is making its way back into the garage now. The delivery's back. Time to prep some rations. Okay, so kitchen. We're going to put workers in the kitchen, and I'm going to go ahead and put Nicholas in the kitchen. His movement speed isn't very good, but his work speed is good. So each of these guys have kind of their own stats. Looks like they all have the same traversal skill. But work speed-wise, Nicholas is the best. He just can't move as fast. So when it comes to traveling, be a little slower getting there, but he's faster once he arrives.
My way.
You don't have to go very far to get to the kitchen, so we're going to let him do the kitchen. And I'm going to go back into the shelter view so we can see that happening. There he is. And he's going to walk into the kitchen and begin preparing the rations. So the raw food is turned into rations. So we're going to let that go really quickly. And as that's turned into rations, we now need to provide meals. Single meals, 1 ration for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Food's ready. Now it's time to get the heating going. Of all the things that can kill you in the mountains, cold is your worst enemy. Okay, so heating, we're going to need to do a couple of things for heating. First is we need to actually place heaters. So the fireplaces, the kitchen also looks like, yeah, that makes sense. But the fireplaces throughout the shelter all emit heat. This one will as well, as long as we turn the heating on. And so what we want to do is we're going to complement that by, and it's not showing me the heat thing anymore. It was, but then I moused up. But anyway, this is going to have like a circle around it for this. So what we want to do is we're going to go into our heating section. There it is. And I'm going to place one of these old space heaters. And the ones that go on the walls, they cost more, but they can go through walls. It's a little weird, but they can go through walls. These old space heaters, they don't really cover a lot of ground, but you want to place these where people are going to be hanging out prominently. So I'm going to say I want one about, let's say, here-ish. A little bit of overlap is a good idea here, I think. So let's go maybe like that. And then another one can be maybe over here, like so. I might move them. Moving them is free later, but having to sell them again, you do not get a full refund. Okay, we've got that taken care of. We also need to build 5 of them total. Let's put another one maybe out here by the front desk if anyone's like communicating with the front desk or whatever. Plus the dog is right here. We got to keep him warm too. And then we'll go upstairs. And again, you have some heating sources here, which is nice. If we place any beds in this room, that would be cool. I'm going to switch to the old radiator, and you can see like it kind of goes through walls a little bit, which I don't know if I'm a fan of that, but I'm going to use it to my advantage anyway. So I'm going to place one radiator right here, and then I'm going to eventually place one in here too, but I can't quite get that yet, so I'll end up placing it here and then move it later. Okay, so that's the 5 radiators I need for the task, but now we need to turn the heating on. So it's time to fire them up. Full steam ahead, he says. So we're going to come into our heating center, and we're just going to crank it up to 20% for now. Now we wait. Remember, the higher you set the power, the faster it warms up, and the faster we burn through wood. Exactly. That's why proper and often heat setting is so important. Less fuel wasted. So if you can just keep your heat supply going, just keep everything consistent, you're going to use less fuel. You won't have to fill things up a little bit as fast. Okay, so now that we've got heat, maybe it's time we clean this place up. I don't see any mess. Well, I saw your mutt burying a bone in the rubble on the 2nd floor. Maybe Brutus just likes it that way. I'll grab some brooms. It won't take long. Okay, so we need to go to the tech tree. Tech tree. It's very cool. We have the tower in the middle, and then this is like sorry, your level 1. And as we progress and upgrade the radio tower, we'll be able to go to higher and higher tiers. You can kind of see how the rings go out. So the first thing we're going to want to grab here is a new room. We're going to hold this down and unlock it. And now we get to choose which room we want to unlock. And I've kind of already set myself up with the radiators in the room. It updates what you've placed in this little map. I like it. So I've already kind of positioned myself around this room. So we'll go ahead and unlock it. And just like that, we can now place things inside this room if I'd like to. So now I'm going to go in back into build mode. And we're just going to grab this and reposition it to be kind of over more in here, I think. I want to cover this area a little bit better for the future. I just can't really seem to place it, can I? It doesn't let me place it into the wall, so I'd have to place it out of it like this. Maybe here. No, it doesn't let me want to. Oh, man. It's really not happy with me placing it along that wall. It's going to have to be over here. That might be a problem. We'll take a look at that later. I actually probably would do this instead, I guess. This is probably going to be easier for me. Let's go like this. And that's how we can keep this place nice and warm. About like that should be good. And I'm just going to use the fireplace for this area. So we mostly got things covered. It should be okay without having to buy anything new. Okay, we now need to unlock new outside zones from this as well. So let's go back to the tech tree, and we want to unlock the outside zone. And I already know it's going to ask me to unlock survival stuff too, so we'll do that really quick as well. But I think I'm going to take a zone that's very close, probably one that they can walk to the quickest. So it's going to be this one here. Because the first things we're going to build are things that they need to visit quite frequently. Good work, team. Can we finally go to bed now? It's not even late. Remember, in the mountains, the sun just sets earlier. Night hikes are dangerous, and evenings are long. Best to use the time wisely. Perfect moment to catch up on shelter duties. We should set up a few basic buildings that'll boost the site's safety. I kind of gave up on his voice, didn't I? It's hurting my throat. We should have enough wood for it. And if not, there's always more to chop in the woodshed. Now, that's wisdom worth hearing. Let's get it done. I'm having a bad throat day today, but I wanted to start this game, so we're going to do it anyway. So first thing I need to do is unlock the survival essentials. We're going to do that right here. This is going to unlock the woodshed, rescue center, weather station, rental shop, and allows us to continue Francis's story, of course. We want to do all of those things. So the first thing to do is build those structures, or at least the weather station and woodshed first. So let's go over to build mode, and we have our facilities. So I'm thinking Weather station costs 80 wood. I can slip it in right here. That seems pretty efficient. I'm not sure. Seems like this is probably okay. I'll take up this little space right here. That'll be the weather station for now. Okay. And then the next one will be the woodshed. And I want to place this somewhere where I have enough room for storage expansion later too. I think this, I don't remember, but I think the storage is 3x3 on the grid. I think so. I should be able to place it there. I'm going to place it right there. Okay. I don't have the ability to do the storage expansion yet, but I want to eventually. Now you might be wondering what these things are here. Okay. These are measurements of current expectations from the people who are coming to our lodge. And at the moment, that's 0. But as we fill this bar up, we can unlock morale boosts for everyone who's coming up to our shelter. And positive morale does wonders for people's positive outcomes, if you know what I mean. Okay, so now we need to use the woodshed to gather wood. We're just going to go ahead and place... I think we can probably put Nicholas on that. He's kind of been working a lot, though, so his... he needs to recover a little bit. He's skipping meals decreases maximum. This is like stamina, right, basically. So we're going to start with, I think, Eva in here, and I might even put both her and Francis in there together. Putting 2 workers in there, of course, will speed up the collection of wood, and the more wood we can collect, the less we need to buy. Since we don't have a whole lot of money, that's a good thing. So right now we're getting 25 wood per hour, which sounds like it might be a lot, but it is not at all a lot. Okay, so we're going to let time go just a little bit here, and as they collect what they need, we're done with that task. Great job. The woodshed isn't the most efficient thing, but it's a lifesaver in a crisis. Now, let's put up some furniture and make sure visiting alpinists have at least a good bit of comfort. I keep the problem with his voice is every time I keep like reverting to like a Sean Connery sort of feel, and I don't want to do that. It's just happening. I don't want to do that. That's going to cost us. Don't worry about that for now. Once the first guests arrive, their fees should cover all expenses. Forget it. No one's set foot here in ages. Relax. I've got a surprise for you. All right, so again, it's going to talk about expectations and things like that. No big deal. We will talk about all those things in the tutorial anyway, so it's fine. So we need to build 3 beds. Check the right section of the tech tree to unlock new furniture. So real quick, come into the tech tree, and we're going to take a look over on this side here. This unlocks furniture. So each sort of quadrant here has different categories of stuff that they're targeting, right? And we want to get to sleeping. This is simple beds, but we also want to get to communal space. I think I want to get to this one first. Before I start building beds. I'd like to do communal like right away. So I'm going to spend a little extra money to do that, but I think it's going to be worth it in the long run. So I'm going to unlock seating and sleeping. And with these 2 things unlocked, I was kind of hoping it would let me get this. But it looks like I have to further the story progress first. That's a shame. We're going to grab surfaces as well, because we're going to need that eventually too. Nah, it's not going to let me go back and get it. I thought maybe it might. Okay, so I do need to... build the 3 beds that they want, but after that I'm hoping I can shift it to where I want to be. So comfort, simple beds. They seem pretty cheap though. 30 wood? Really? I thought they were more expensive than that. All right, anyway, the dark part is where their feet go, right? So we're just gonna put 1 bed here and leave a little bit of space. 1 bed here and 1 bed here, and we'll end up destroying these beds and replacing them later, but it's fine. All right, we've got everything we need. Now let's wait for that surprise. Look at the map. The surprise is on the way. Okay, so our surprise is Alpinist surprise. We're tracking that already on the map. We're gonna take a look, and we're gonna see somebody is on their way. We have mountaineers on the way. Indeed. Let's let them come on up the mountain here. Join us in the Mile High Lodge. We don't have our club set up quite yet, but I'm sure they'll be willing to join us eventually. All right, let's go back to the shelter. We can come down to this floor here is what I want to see. So we should see guests coming in soon. There they are outside. See the details really quick. So we acquired all the things. Good morning. Long time no see, Nicholas. It's the mayor. Huh? What's she doing here? And who are all these people? I took the liberty of inviting Madam Mayor and her team. Their visit will test your readiness. It will also help me decide whether we can restore your permits, Nicholas. Hold on. We're running this place illegally? At the moment, it seems so. That's why we can't officially place the shelter on tourist maps. If you hadn't been cozying up to the competition, there wouldn't be any problems. That's not on me. The inspection ruled that your facilities were far below standard. Mrs. Harland told me you're trying to reopen the shelter. I'd be glad to see for myself. We're ready. We won't let you down, Madam Mayor. All right, so faulty delivery. So we have an event that's popped up, random event, if you will, that's popped up, and we need to address it sometime. So from the open supply crate wafts a nasty sour stench of half-rotten fruit. Unfortunately, it seems someone on the crew mistakenly ordered a few 100 kilos of spoiled potatoes for compost instead of top-shelf, tasty deluxe rations. No time to wonder how this happened or who's to blame. Action is required. Guests are starting to catch a whiff. So now that we have guests, there's chances for stuff like this to go on. Maybe we toss it into the soup and they won't smell that bad. So this will reduce their happiness, I guess, for 12 hours. We could just dump the whole lot. It's pointless. This will reduce our raw food. Probably going to need to take a delivery quicker, right? Or maybe we can salvage a little something for the crew. And then this is just going to reduce the workers' energy, productivity for 12 hours, which I'm actually kind of fine with that. The productivity going down for a little bit. For 12 hours, it's not a big deal right now, so I'm going to do that. I had a feeling things were going too smoothly. This isn't the first time. Running a shelter is never an easy business. We need to act fast. Fresh supplies are a priority. If you've got the funds, hiring a helicopter would be smart. Air transport doesn't care about mountain terrain. The only thing you'll need to worry about is the weather and the bill. I think I know someone who can help with that. Don't tell me. You got a pilot, buddy? Let's just say I have a friend in a mountain transport company. I'll give you the number, but I'd rather not get directly involved. I'd rather not get directly involved? Okay. That's an interesting turn. We're going to build some things here if we can afford it. So comfort stuff, right? We want to increase people's expectations and such. So I'm thinking this is an area that's going to be fairly warm, and it makes sense for us to have some kind of like warming, furniture and stuff over here by this. So I'm going to kind of make ourselves a little comfortable here. Let's maybe put it in line with the fireplace. I think that works pretty well. We'll maybe move this to be more in line with the fireplace as well. On this side. Kind of like this. I'm not sure if that's lined up, but it's fine. And then, of course, we can move these heaters. If we want them to be just slightly further away from each other, we can maybe go a little bit like, say like that. That'd be fine. For heating, if I let the time go a little bit, I would assume that... Oh, yeah. So when we move this, it has to reset. So there is some cold going on right here, isn't there? I'm wondering if maybe I should set the heating power a little bit higher. Let's say 24%. It just goes just a little bit higher there, right? I don't know about the difficulty for that. Okay, so we need to acquire 100 raw food using the air service in the delivery menu. So in order to use the air service, we need to come out and we need to repair the landing pad. So let's just have Eva come out and repair that. Actually, she's looking really tired. I'm going to have Nicholas come out come out there. He says he's getting too old for this, but I just disagree. Then we're going to have her cancel her task. Nicholas is already there, so he can just take over and we can have a nice smooth repair job right there. Meanwhile, I think I want Francis to go back to work over here, although he's not very productive. So that might not be the best play. Instead, I think what I want Francis to do, because his productivity is so low, we're going to have him go after the transport, but the tutorial wants me to use the helicopter instead of town. Okay. So we're going to use SNS air transport. It has a 200 capacity. And, I mean, we might as well have it order... I don't think we need food right away, so I'm going to have it order the full load of wood. Although it wants me to order the raw food here instead, doesn't it? Yeah, okay, fine. 100 and 100 then. I want you to bring me some wood because we're going to need all we can get. So let's do the 600. There's a transport fee of 100, so like we might as well max it out because otherwise every product is just costing us more per, thing that we're getting. So might as well max out the load when you get this. So I think that's everything I need to do. We can go ahead and commence the task. And we need to build enough furniture to raise one of the expectation factors to surpass the level and raise the morale. That's what I was trying to do initially. And so if I look at this, see, comfort's not quite there yet. If I go into the tech tree, I can't do that yet. I thought I had couches and stuff, but that looks like maybe that's not available right here. It might be available somewhere else. Is that communal space? Oh, that's the sofa. Okay, so that's in communal spaces. I'm looking for that right now. All right, I'm gonna have to wait a little bit longer then until I can have that. So let's come back out. And I mean, I've got these 2 sofas here. I don't know if I really should build any more of these recliners and stuff. Maybe some extra simple chairs and stuff for comfort, or storages. Storages might be a way to do this. They only cost 20 wood each. So if I place a storage there, let's say, right, maybe right up against this. Yeah, like that. Place one there, and maybe another one kind of on this side. Yeah, I'm trying to envision what other furniture there might be. Maybe like a potted plant or something right there. So let's leave a space there. We got some barrels and stuff we can place. I'm thinking maybe put them over in the corner like this, just to see what's up. So this is being built up as we do this, right? And then some of these tables, these simple tables. There's a coffee table, which, yeah, makes sense for like this area. I think that makes a lot of sense. Place that there, and then probably these simple tables add some storage too, I guess, I suppose. So maybe in an effort to not get in the way of the kitchen, we can place these things over here. It's like I got a spare bed frame and stuff to delete as well. So maybe we'll place a couple of these down over here like so. Yeah, like this. And then we can switch back to our chairs. Actually, I think this is they're too close together, aren't they? This needs to be moved just a little bit. So maybe I'll just put them in front of the windows for now. We can always shift them, although it's kind of a pain in the butt to shift them because they don't snap together. It's not like a lot of games where the chairs and the tables are kind of, you know, a unit. They're not. They're all individual. So if you do have to move them later, it's individual one by one. So I don't really want to move them later if I can help it. So maybe we'll do something like that. And then we'll put this up against it like this. Maybe leave a little bit of space between these chairs. Something like that. Yeah. And then we just place the table right up against it again. Like so. Is it there? Looks like it's there. Yeah, like that. And then 2 more chairs. Like so. Okay, so we're, again, trying to build this up. It's very close now. I think probably if we have any like end tables. Yeah, bedside tables. If we come up to the second floor where the beds are, we can probably fit, if I space these out later, we can fit these in here. So what I'll probably do is just add a few of them right here until I get the trigger right there. So there's our morale thing. I'll place them right here, and then once we start replacing the beds, we can just move them into positions and move them into the position that I want. Okay, so we've ordered the stuff on the helicopter, right? So the helicopter should be coming here pretty soon. There it is. And it's going to drop off the raw food for us. So let's take a look here. Air transport. Yeah, we're going to try to avoid using air transport as much as possible because it's expensive. John the pilot says, "Hello, everyone. Great to start another partnership. And what a view you've got up here. Hey, that was some lightning fast delivery of yours. I just hope I didn't beat the cargo up too badly. If anything's wrong, let me know. Francis Harland, I presume." Wow, that name brings back memories. Memories? Pretty sure we've never met. Do you have a relative named Eva? I used to be with a girl by that name. We were even engaged once. Maybe? I never heard about that one. Wait, what's this? She's going to stab us in the back and run off to the competition? Excuse me? What are you talking about? Out with it, kid. No excuses. I let one of my workers sell us out again. I won't let one of my workers sell us out again. Worker? Eva works here? That's wonderful news. Where can I find her? I've missed her. We've got so much to catch up on. This has to be some kind of mistake. You've got no business here, John. Eva! We ordered a service, not small talk. Could we at least? No, absolutely not. We don't have time for this. Forget it. Or maybe just, I said no. All right, then. Well, call me if you need any more runs. I'll see if I can get my boss to cut you a discount. Yikes, that was rough. Did he really deserve to get brushed off like that? Seemed like a decent guy. Trust me, he's not. He's a total douche, and you'll just have to take my word for it. But, man, he did say we get a discount. Yeah, it's still pretty expensive to take things like that. Okay, so with 480 money left, that's not a lot of money left. And yikes on this. Let's put Francis to work doing this because his work speed is really abysmal. So he should do this instead. We're going to send him out to, I think, probably with the last of this money right now. I have 134 rations. It's probably good enough. Let's get 30 more. And then everything else in this load should be wood. So 320 wood. I can't afford it. Okay, so let's go 200 then. All right, I do want to have a little bit of leftover money. It's probably a good idea to not do this too far. So why don't I just send you on a run for 90 of it? For now, we can just have you do that so you're somewhat productive. We'll have Nicholas go in here. And then I'll get Ava to come over to the kitchen. Where is it? Right there. And she can start working on the stuff in the kitchen to get those rations processed. So everyone has a job right now. And I need to set double meal using the kitchen panel and wait for the selected meal time. So basically kitchens, we're now doing double meals for everyone. Oh, good. We just need to make sure that the mayor is really happy is essentially what we're doing here. So we've got 2 quests now. We have Francis's bag. We need to stash the damn bag somewhere. Francis has a spot in mind. We need to open the trail map. And then there's also quiet moment. Life in the mountains can be pleasantly slow. It's a good moment to wrap up side tasks and fine-tune the shelter. Finish other quests while waiting for the next set of instructions. So Francis's bag is what we're going to be focusing on, I guess. Everyone's busy. Might be the perfect time to stash the damn bag. If Eva or the old man stumbled across it, I'd be in deep trouble. Oof. Oh, you won't spill the beans, will you, boy? Gonna help me find a good hiding spot? Oof. Add a partner? Let's get to work. I found some pretty good wood in the old man's cellar. Also from town, yeah. Whew, crisis averted, I think. Now we just have to keep the meals coming and make sure that the mare doesn't freeze. If guests head out in the trail rested and satisfied, the risk of accidents drops a lot. Sometimes it pays to go the extra mile for people tackling a tough climb. Better safe than sorry. All right, then. Cool. So the next quest we have then is to just open the trail map. And this is where we need to send the bag. So this is our introduction to making trails. And this is why I need all the wood. Lots and lots of wood. Trail tasks. So we're going to click a spot to go to our hiding spot. And it is really far away. Wow. As you currently don't have a path selected to the Chill Crest slope, you will need to build one if you want to complete the tasks. Open up the build menu. We need to go to path segments. So this costs money and wood. I forgot about the money part of that, but maybe we'll be okay. Select the path segment here. And what we need to do is essentially create a path to the Chill Crest slope. And I want to do this in a way that allows me to double, triple, quadruple dip, whatever, this path. Because this is the expensive part, is building the trail. And then setting the trail routes for everybody is the cheaper part. Of course, there are certain parts and segments that you do need to fit with proper safety stuff, like chains and handrails and things like that. But for the most part, that initial expense is really about this part. And so it's going to cost me 180 wood in this direction. And so I need to get all the way over to Chill Crest Slope. And so we're going to say probably about, this is good. This is good. It has open area and the river. So let's get that so it tags up that river tag like this. All right. And then we'll head this direction, making sure we keep it nice and safe. This is going to introduce the river, but I don't really need the river anymore. So open areas is pretty good. Getting through the woods would be good. Right there is good, I think. Boom. Then we're going to head off this way. So we're still going through the woods. It doesn't seem to cost us anymore to go through the woods, which is fine. Here is some woods and river. Seems good. And then now we're getting into a little bit steeper. If I go this direction, it's going to be narrow. It's not going to be as steep. If I go this way, I got to go up a steep little hill. So let's go this direction, and we'll just tap here and then all the way to here. I don't need to go quite that far. Let's go this way. So we're closer to these other things. Maybe like, yeah, like this. And then we can go to here. Okay. So it didn't really cost me very much. I guess the story isn't going to charge me for this, which is actually fantastic. So I can hopefully double dip this a bit. So there's the spots, there's the hiding spot, and I need to set up a route to it. Okay, so from the Mile High Lodge, you go to this point, then 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 you go to this point. Yep, and then finally this point. That's the trail. We confirmed the route, and now we need to build it. So we're going to need to use the vehicle. Now, Francis is currently using the vehicle to go off and do the things in town that I asked him to do. So once he gets back, then we can use the vehicle here. So we're just going to wait for him to get back. And there we go. Now I can grab this. I'm going to tell Francis to do this because he's the only one that can. And he is not available yet. You'll notice the task requires Francis. There we go. And so now I can say set up the route. Oh, it's already done. So now I just say commence task.
A job's a job.
And so now he's going to go out and he is going to create that path that brings us all the way out to Chillcrest Slope. That's pretty convenient. It means that whenever we need to go to places like Stone Garden or Camp East, you know, if somebody wants to come out to this Ice Bic Terrace or whatever, we actually have a starting path for them to take if they want a nice, easy path to it. Now, some of our mountain people, and it's going to probably explain this to us more in depth as it does in the tutorial, but some people really want an adventure. Some people want, you know, the thrills, the challenge of the climb. And so for those people, we need to create paths that are more treacherous and more dangerous, more difficult. But for the right group of people, they're still fine, you know? So we'll take a look at that later, probably. Does it let me build my communal space yet? No. I mean, I don't have a whole lot of money left, so yeah. Allowance. During the prologue, Pedro promised to keep you afloat by sending you some money each day at 9 a.m. This should be enough in case you end up spending too much, but will not surpass the money that you can get from Alpinists after finishing the prologue. The allowance will cease once you start receiving clients. At this point, they will come every day, so you don't need to worry about the funds as much. So I think we just got our allowance, is what you're trying to tell me. And now I have the ability to do more here. So with our storage being higher than expectations, we're getting like a half a star there, which is kind of nice. This little black line, I think, represents what their expectations are. You kind of don't see it when I mouse over it, but there's like a black line right behind the star there. Okay, so maybe I can add... I already have good storage, but I'm thinking if I just add like one more table set, because I can. We'll go like about like this should be good, I think, on space. Probably. Let's really quick grab this and sell that and that. Wasn't there another one I thought? No, doesn't look like there's another one. Okay, so we'll do that. And then I'm going to have the chairs. There we go. That's a little bit more space than I need here. I think I can probably scoot that a little bit, but is there a value in that? I don't think I can actually get... I might scoot these, you know, like offline or something. I might do some more scooting to optimize the space or something. But for now, I'm just going to do that. And then we'll move this over a little bit. Yeah, like that. And this is just adding, again, additional seating and stuff. Hopefully, hoping that the comfort goes up enough to trigger that. But that's pretty light. I think the sofas are really going to do a much better job. Likewise, getting more beds will do a better job too, because I only have room for 3 beds and I have 4 people here. So that's not a great thing. But the tutorial told me to only make 3 beds. So I'm going to do what that says, because I want to have the bunk beds instead. I want the communal living instead. Maximize the efficiency of my space just a little bit better there. Okay, so if I go back out to the trail view now, we should see that Francis is out there. Yep. And he's made this trail that can take him all the way over there, and I assume he's dumped the bag out that way. So we won't have to worry about that anymore. Francis, where were you? We need you. Oh, you know, I wasn't feeling that too great. Had to step out for some fresh air. Must be the altitude in the thin air. Right, yeah. That must be it. I'll just remember to breathe less or something. Very funny. Okay, cool. So that quest is done. Now we have trails and tribulations. Running the shelter isn't the whole story. It's time to focus on what people actually come here for. Let's start making trails. Yes. That is the thing we now need to do. So, Nicholas, does that trail up the mountain we visited back in 25 still exist? Is that some kind of courtship? I'm not looking for a bride. For the sharp one. I just thought I'd show our town hall crew the best that this valley has to offer. I don't doubt it. Can you believe not a single one of them has ever climbed before? Crazy. Well, that old trail Esprival, probably buried long ago. Most of the old routes are gone. Nobody's restored them in years. Well, maybe we can rebuild them. Got any wisdom in that department, old man? Wonderful idea. Remember, a good trail network serves at least two purposes. First, it uses the natural terrain and gets climbers safely to the top. And then second, it caters to a very different group of alpinists. Meaning, the leisurely trail for beginners is a whole different beast than a challenge for the pros. All right, so we should start finding out the mayor's taste. So we're going to go to our new tab here, this alpinist group. And this is Espritval. I don't know how you actually say it, but this is where they want to go, okay? And so we get to see, basically, get out of my way, I want to explain this. Now that we know the mayor's a casual stroller aiming for Espritval, let's line up with our notes. Yes, notes that I'm trying to tell you, but the tutorial, I wish I could disable it so that I didn't have all these things and just explain it to you my way, but I'll try to do it while this is open anyway. So each group of alpinists that comes to our place is going to have these little icons, and each of them has a different skill level that we need to work through. They have a traversal skill. And so the trails that we do need to kind of line up with their skill level and also make them as safe as possible while giving them something that properly challenges their skill level. So we can use the compendium and the guest book to get an idea of the 5 different types of groups that are going to come and how we can line up their paths and what the certain things that they desire, certain things that they're looking for. Okay. So in this case, the mayor is a casual stroller. Traversal skill is between 2 and 3. There's the desires that they want. Slopes that are about 10 degrees, 15 degrees, forest, vista points, etc. You have nature fans, which have slightly different desires. They actually have a little bit lower traversal skill. It's interesting that they're ahead of this in popularity, but I guess this is going to fluctuate. I'm just reading left from right. It doesn't necessarily mean that people on the right are more skilled than the people on the left, I guess. Then you have the hardcore people. Also 2 to 3, very similar to casual stroller somehow, but they want steeper slopes. So their skill is around the same, but they are looking for something a little bit more steeper. Have to make them safe. Then we have boulderers. These guys have higher traversal skills. They're looking for 45-degree slopes and open areas. And then finally, we have the professional climbers. These guys have the highest traversal skill on average, and they're looking for the steepest of slopes, as well as big vista points at the end of their journeys to, be like, look where I am kind of thing, right? Okay, I want to just get rid of the tutorial blips, and then we can see. So everything suggests that the ideal choice would be a gentle trail under 45 degrees of incline. And it better run through the forest, at least for a stretch. It's good that I got this trail to do that then. Amateurs just love those snowy landscape. So we're making a route, piece of cake. Remember, just marking a route isn't enough. What are we supposed to do, hold the tourist's hands too? Very funny, Francis. The trail still needs proper preparation. Once route is marked, it has to be secured and clearly signed. On the tougher stretches, it's worth adding barriers or safety chains. What's next? A cable car for the lazy ones? For those that just want to view, a cable car is actually a great idea. Only once the path is marked and prepared can we set the official trail. It has to lead from the shelter to the point of interest. So that's what we're looking to do here. So if I can get the tutorial to stop stopping me, we can get this started on this, but it's going to hold my hand with this. So we're going to create a trail to Espritval right here is the idea. And so we need to have paths marked. So first, before I can do that, I actually have to build it. Now, I've already got a path that takes us to this point, and this is that nice 10-degree slope, so no big deal. So we need to create a new path segment. And it needs to be long enough because it actually stops me from making it if it's too short. So it needs to be long enough. And I think if I go about this way, notice now that the longer I make it, the more expensive in wood it costs. Yes, it's going to cost a lot. If I bring it back this way, we could do that, but it's kind of like double backing, and I don't really like that idea. So I like the idea of moving towards these if possible. So why don't we do this? Why don't we come out like this, and we can go about there with it, let's say. Seems okay. About 96. Let's go 90. About there. And then we can bring it over here. Now, that's a 30-degree slope. So it's a little bit more extreme, but it shouldn't be that big of a deal. It's marked as a level 2. But what we can do on this little stretch right here is we can add handrails to this. So if I add handrails from here to here, it's going to end up downgrading that slope to a 1. So we've added some safety things. It's still the slope that they're looking for, but it's still a 1 on safety. So it should be still fine for them. So that's what we want to do now. So let's go back over to our trails, create a trail, and we're going to say that we want to go boom, boom, boom. All right, there we go. We're going to confirm the route. And now we need to name it. Lots of different ways we could approach this idea. I like to do it like this. I'm going to go Esprit Vol, Vol. And I'm going to call this one, let's go L1. So I'd like to designate like what the steepest part of this is, or what the incline, the slope is, and all that stuff. So what I think I'm going to actually do is just go 30 L1. This tells me it's a 30 degrees and it's level 1 safety. I think that's probably an okay convention to establish. So this gives us a destination. It gives me the highest degree of slope in that trail and the level of safety that's at the highest, or the level of danger or whatever, right? Okay, we got our trail mapped out. Now someone has to go out there and mark it. Cool. So that's what we're also going to do in this. Let's go ahead and have it done. I'm just going to skip that part of the story because they're just describing the mechanics, and I know it already. So we're going to use a vehicle. And we're going to have, I guess it can be anyone in this point. So we'll have Eva do it, I suppose. And we can tell her to get out there and do that, because Francis is sleeping. And so she's just going to go out, make that extra path there, and then also install the handrails and stuff that goes along with it. And then this path is ready to rock and roll. Now, as our alpinists are in this group, right now, they don't have a valid trail available. But as soon as this finishes, they'll automatically assign themselves to the trail that's available that fits their needs the closest. Great work, team. So all the guests usually stay for 2 days and then leave. Yes, that gives them plenty of time to build their morale using the shelter's facilities. Why the long face? You started to like her. Oh, bloody hell. So she's leaving us at the mercy of the old man. Damn it, Harland! What have I done to dear Pedro to deserve this? They did such an amazing job. We're leaving the shelter well fed and relaxed, and the views absolutely stunning. I'll tell you the rest when I get back. All right, dears, I've finished my report. Where do I turn off this radio? I'll do it. Hand over the headset. Ever the picture of gratitude, that one. Apologies. No worries. I bet Nicholas was worried sick about our ragtag bunch. Thank you so much. It was truly a wonderful stay. I've missed that valley view more than I thought. And you did a fantastic job fixing up that trail. So you liked your stay? Absolutely. City Hall won't shut up about it for weeks. My dears, I think it's safe to say that I can lift your suspension and start sending folks your way. That's amazing news. Thank you. Unfortunately, that's not all. Ha! She's always got a butt. Legally, you're still not compliant with all regulations. But since we go way back, Nicholas, I can bend the rules a bit, let you start earning again. That said, every mountain shelter in this area has to meet certain standards. I'll leave a list. Always with the rules. In a few days, someone will come back. If everything looks good, you'll get your permit. But now you can bring in the income. It should be easier. Anyways, I've got to run. Please stay in touch. Take care. Good luck. Bye. She's finally gone. Oh, if she'd stayed one more day, she'd have seen we can barely heat this ruin. And those clouds. How are climbers even going to find out about us? People have been wanting to explore around Coratan again. Coratan again? Once word spreads, we'll be packed. That's true. People used to come even when the trail was closed. Now we just need to wait. I'm all for waiting under a blanket. I'm dead on my feet. I should turn in for a nap too. We've got to prepare for the crowds. I can wait. I can't wait. Yeah. Okay. I wanted to go through the story. I do. And there's a lot of words there. And I think the main thing for me is that, I've already shown you a lot of the stuff in the sandbox, but we're going to start getting into stuff that I haven't shown you. I promise it's going to happen. Right now, we've got some groups of people headed our way already. This group is a group of professionals. Okay, so they're going to want something different. And it looks like this is Fankhauser's League. Okay. And these guys are called Bieri's Order. Andreas Bieri is their leader. And we have another group of professionals behind them, DeLuca's Division. So there's, let's see, 4, 7, 10. So 10 people coming our way. Great. That means I need 10 beds minimum. Can I get that now? I can still not get communal space. That is very annoying. Okay, I need to wait till morning to prepare for my guest arrival. Sure I do. Let's start with getting food done. We'll have Eva do that. Let's get Nicholas on the wood because it's more... Okay, I'm never going to hit the right button, and it's just the way it is. There it goes. Let's get you on this because you're just faster at it. And I think because Francis really doesn't have a whole lot to do, otherwise, I'm going to have him helping you. So, boys, get out in the cold and chop some wood. And Ava will prepare the food in the nice warm kitchen. Now, there's one thing we can absolutely do here because the mayor had us doing this, and I didn't like that. We're going to bring this down because I don't want to overuse my food. So we're just going to provide the basic essentials for people. Now, of course, I don't have enough beds right now, and that is the core issue at hand. And I didn't want to buy these beds. But hopefully this right here, aha, there it is, unlock communal spacing. Perfect. I want that. Where is it? Right here. I'll take it. Thank you very much. And now we can redo this. Okay. Now that I'm allowed to have communal spacing, let's sell these beds. I don't want them. And we will replace them now with the simple bunk beds. Comfort is +6. These ones are +3. And of course, it caters to more than the people here. So I think I'll have them all facing the same way. I think I'll try that. So I didn't do that before, but I think I'll try that now. So we're gonna go like this. I think do I leave a space between them? Probably should. There's one there, and then I'll leave a little space here. I could leave 2 spaces. It might just look cleaner to do it that way. I know it's not min-maxed in space, but I think I'm gonna do that here. Oh, you know what? Actually, I should leave more space than that because we want to put these end tables in there, don't we? Yeah. Okay. Well, let's see how much room we need for that. If I put you right here, then I can now fit you like this. So this is how spaced out they'll be. That doesn't seem like it's lining up. How come this is out so far? Yeah, it needs to go back further. Yeah, like this. Okay. That's how that can be, I guess. I mean, these things already come with end tables. I really don't need these, do I? I suppose not. What I might be able to do then is if I select it and then... Can I select a batch of them? Can I do that? No? Ooh, there's different looks. Oh, I didn't realize that. Hang on. Oh, there's nice. Yeah. Okay. We can do something like this then. It gives it some different character, doesn't it? I like it. Let's actually move this down, and we'll place these kind of, I don't know, maybe we'll place them between in here, like an extra surface for these guys to, drop their drinks off and stuff right away, right? So we'll put this right there. Maybe put this one right there. And then we've got these two, which I'm not sure where it should go. Maybe one against the wall on this side, and then maybe we'll do another one like maybe over here or something. Okay. I think that seems like that could work. Let's put some additional beds in here. We're going to go... I think I'll leave a little bit of space between them. It's probably an ideal way to do it. If it were me, I would like that. So let's go like that with it. And then I want to add some more. So we'll go through like this, and we'll add... Let's say something about like this. Seems like it's pretty lined up. And then the next one can be right here. And then do I have enough room for one more? Man, I'd like to get in room for one more. It looks like it'll give me that. There's just not any space to walk between them is the problem. And I like the look of it if it was a little bit better than that. So I'm going to put these against the window here. Like this on that side. And then we'll have another bed that goes on the ends of this side. And I'm spending all of my wood right now, which is probably not very smart. Because we're going to end up having to make more trails here in a second. But I want to make sure we have plenty of room for people to sleep. So let's put you against this wall. Well, against the radiator at least. Yeah. I don't think it'll start a fire or anything. And then, do I have enough room for one more right here? And a gap? Yeah, there's a gap right there. Okay, sounds good. That's a lot of beds. It's more beds than I needed, but it kind of sets us up for the future, okay? We're going to be ready to go for when this place becomes really popular. And we only need one bed unlocked, one room unlocked for now to make that happen. We also leave this open. And then heating wise, I think everything is in a good space. Pretty close. Yeah, I mean, maybe I can move things over a little bit, but I think pretty close to a good space there. We'll let it be for now, okay? So when these guys show up, we're going to be ready to rock and roll. And what we have right now is, the problem is, we have goals without trails, okay? These are guests that want to go places, but they can't yet. And look at this. Look at all these people. Wow. Got a lot of people walking around here now too, huh? So we need to prepare food rations. That's what we're working on in the kitchen. That's going to happen. We need to unlock woodshed upgrade on the tech tree. Oh, yes. Let's do that right here. And this is going to increase the work speed on that. That's excellent. I got these two in there. You should be able to make 45 wood an hour now. Fantastic. All right. And then we're going to build a path leading to Celestial Grove or Feroce and create the trail using the trails menu. So back out to the trail map. We have our alpinists. Let's take a look at our groups really quick here. So DeLuca wants to go to Celestial Grove. Frank Hauser's League wants to go to Feroce, and Bieri's Order wants to go to Celestial Grove. So we have two groups that are very different from each other, wanting to go to the same location. So we might need two trails that get them there. Celestial Grove is here, and that's where these two troops want to go. Now, I have a path that takes us to this point. So what I could maybe do is get two paths that kind of go, one very casually and the other that goes a little more steep. The other thing I can do is we have another group that wants to go to Feroce, and this same group, these are professionals, right? So another thing I could do is get a path that goes from Mile High Lodge to Feroce. These are professionals, so they want that steep climb. So what I could do is get the steep climb that goes up to Feroce, and then from Feroce, bring it down to Celestial Grove. That way, the people who want to go to Celestial Grove, they can go through Feroce to get there. That can be their trail. So that's like we're kind of double dipping that way, right? You can use that, not really, but yeah, kind of. And then on the easy going path, I just take this one over. So if I take the path segment and I bring this one, let's say, to there directly, that just takes them to Celestial Grove. These are casual people that want to go there. So I could just do that. It's not a hard thing to do. Pretty straightforward. I like it. And then we have the segment that's going to go to Feroce, which is way up here. That's a little steep. See 45, 80 degrees there, 60 degrees, 80 degrees. Very steep, very dangerous is what that is. This is a 60 degree one. I think I like that better. So we can go about like here with it. All right. And then if it's too close, it might be too close to Feroce because you have to have a certain length. So it's possible that it won't let me make this. But we can go something like this, 60, 45. 45 is probably not bad. If I do it 45, I'm kind of opening myself up to other people being able to come here. So I like that. I think I like that. If I go to like, say, 45 here. Or maybe we go 30. And then from there, we can split and have one that goes really steep and the other that doesn't. And that way, like, we can have some casuals go to Feroce too in the same path. That's not a bad idea either. So if I go 30 here, let's say, then as I get to here directly, it's a 60. But if I ever want to go maybe a little gentler, I can always come to here first and then over. So you can either take this path and have a way easier time to get there, or you can take this path and have a much more adventurous time to get there. And I like that. So we're going to go like that. So that's a 4. That's pretty dangerous. We're going to want to outfit this with some good stuff. But then I want this path to come over this way. And I think we'll have this be... I mean, we could leave this as an easy path from here, right? We really could. We could go something like... I think 30 is acceptable. We're already going 30 up this way. So 30 this way is fine. Or about here is good. And then down this way. And I'm out of wood now. So I don't have the wood to do that. But we're very close. And you can kind of see what I'm trying to do, right? I want to use these paths for multiple types of climbers if I can. So later on, we'll end up having another path that goes this way, right? And I don't have the wood for it at the moment, but if I let the time run, then I'll get the money for it eventually. I'll get the wood for it eventually. So they're cutting wood right now, right? They're getting a little tired, but they're going to cut the wood here in a second. And so let's go back to path segment. I want to see if I can make this now. So if I go like this, right, this would be 60 wood. But I can do it to make it 30 degrees from there. And I just want to see what that path from here to here is. I want to see if that's a dangerous thing or not. And then what also we want to do, chains are needed for these. So we're going to want to do chains. They're more expensive than handrails. But we're going to want to put some chains from here to here. And I don't have the wood for that either. But that's marked for that too. Okay. So as we get our materials in place here, and as I get some money, which I do have, I think I'm going to send Ava on a trip here really quick for deliveries. I'm going to send you... I think we have not quite enough food rations here, do we? Okay, Francis is going to stop his task. He's going to get a little bit of rest for a second. I need the food rations to complete this objective. And then Ava is going to... She's got to go to sleep. I'm going to let her go to sleep now too. Okay. And then, yeah, Nicholas, go have a rest. Francis, I'm going to have you go to town really quick before you're done resting. And you're going to get me a full load of wood if you can. That's $700. I think that's fine. Commence that. I'm going to have you go to town and get me a whole bunch of wood, buddy. Because I want to make these trails. Now, these guys are going to leave in 2 days. I'm not in a hurry to make these, but I want to get them done. And because the more groups I can get through here, the more money I'm getting. As I get groups coming through here, you know, we're going to get more money. And that's going to help me in buying a whole bunch of things. 60. Speaking of buying things, can I have my sofa now? This is 40 wood. Okay. I'm noticing that the scroll wheel is now taking me up and down floors instead of zooming me in. And I'm wanting to zoom in. Did I do something to activate that? Because I don't remember that being a thing. Yeah, it's supposed to do this. Yeah, I'm not sure what that was all about. It was... Oh, interesting. Oh, okay. Okay, that's very weird. So if you tap shift, it shifts your mode into doing this. But you don't have to hold down shift. At least I don't. I just tap it and it does it. It's very weird. It's supposed to be page down that does these things, but it was... Huh. It's very strange. Anyway, let's go like this. And sofa is going to be like that. So just adding some additional comforts. And now we get a morale boost for the comfort as well. So now we're getting a morale boost for comfort and storage. We just need to work on entertainment now at that point. But no big deal. We do want to make sure, however, that we never run out of wood. We must always have a good supply of wood at all times. Because if you run out of wood, then... your heat turns off, right? You're consuming wood as a part of that, so you don't ever want that to happen. Nicholas is almost, yeah, we're almost rested, right? Francis is pretty much rested. Now I'm gonna have Francis do the trail, but we're gonna go out and have Nicholas go in there.
You and your ideas.
Yeah, me and my ideas. That's what it is all about. I'm an ideas guy, and you're the one that's working hard for him. There we go. Okay, let's come back out to the map. And I should have enough wood now to finish this as I wanted to finish. So this path segment is going to come over here. That's a 30. Oh, and now I'm out of money. Oh, it actually costs money too. Of course it does. Well, I might have to wait till morning, I guess. You know what? You guys will have to wait till morning too. This is episode 1. It didn't quite go as far as I wanted. Story had a lot more in the beginning packed in. But I think it thins out now. I think there's going to be a lot more of the management stuff right now. So this is episode 1. Come back in like a couple hours for episode 2. I'll push 2 videos today for this so we can have a nice big running start for it. Okay. Thanks for watching. This is Above the Snow. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.